So the paint has come out better than even I had hoped. It looks pretty good for a 1960s shopping trolley. So as of today we have 16 days to go until summer nats. The car's still missing quite a few pieces, so I've got my work cut out for me. I have 2 weeks now to get it fully back together before summer nats. Last night I managed to get all the front carpets in. That's all looking good. I'm incorporating a whole bunch of sound deadening into this now so that the panels don't drum anymore. So it should be a thoroughly much nicer car to drive. I've got the parcel shelf in with the speakers. They've never actually been connected, but hopefully we'll get to that. So I'm thinking today, plan of attack is just start at the back, work my way forward. So to that end, we're going to start putting this Lego set back together. Front carpet's in, nice, lots of sound deadening. There's still more sound deadening to go in. Roof is all sound deadened. Parcel shelf again, sound deadening foam underneath. Speakers, seat belts all mounted. Boots mounted, boot seals in. Made up foam plugs for all the gaps in the boot to help again tackle some noise and any ventilation issues. So this is all looking pretty close to final. I've still got to figure out some kind of boot floor scenario, but that's sort of the last thing I need to worry about. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. So I'm now moving on to the doors. Because I had spare doors, I've basically got to take all the hardware off the old one and put it on the new one. Again, we've got some bitumen, or the car builder's sound deadening to stop drumming and make it a more comfortable ride. So basically now just take it off that, clean it up, put it on that. So that took way longer than you would think, but here we go. We have a door with a window and a door lock, all nice and smooth, ready to go back in the car. I've got some spares of some of these bits and pieces, so I've been cherry picking which chrome work is best and polishing it up as I go. Only 3 more doors to go. Given that these cars were very cheaply made in the 60s, it's not a real surprise that they cut a lot of corners. Trying to mount the door, you can see the gap that I've got tapering to nearly nothing there. I've had to take the trim off because it was going to hit the paint. If you come around here, it opens up and then tightens again. So they're just kind of all over the shop. And this is only door one. When we get the other door there too, we've got to try and make them all play together. The way they're mounted is these slotted mounting holes here, but that's all the adjustment you get. They can go up, down, left, right, and then the same with the striker plate. You could pack them forward and back. Maybe if I pack the bottom hinge, that'll kick it up and bring that forward a bit and give me the clearance I need, but I don't know. This is why the professional guys put this all together in the metal, and then they would have ground this to make a nice gap, but that's not how I did it. Anyway, at least the colour more or less matches, so that's a win. It'll look alright once it's together. So after debumpering this car, they had a flange welded all the way along there, which was ground off and smoothed nicely, which has come up really good. I designed these bumperettes to a la Cobra style, but sort of also vaguely reminiscent of the original bumper. So these are a 2-part 3D model. It was designed just in Blender. This outer is one shape, and then this inner shape bolts to it. These two bolts are screwed through a metal bar that runs down through the center here, and that's why it's 2-piece, so you can attach it together. These have just been wrapped with a chrome vinyl wrap, which is a pretty average job, but if I get time to do it again, I'll do it again, but for now these are adequate for what we need. And so these just bolt through because of the I've got some rubber washers I made there, the 3D prints accounting for the curvature of the body, and then I've made some also 3D printed sort of tapered washers just so that when the bolts up, it bolts up flat. So that's how they go. Today's ever, yeah. So just look at this bit. Looks finished. So today's the 23rd. Still don't have a windscreen, a bonnet, or a front driver's door. I'm gonna hopefully get that door built today, and then we get it on and we're looking good. I'm hoping to pick up the seats tomorrow or later in the week with Christmas. We'll see how we go. Today is the 27th of December, so I have 6 days to go. The car is looking like this. It has all its doors and its windows, and I've just completed everything at the back. We have both bumperettes bolted up, my new number plate light, and its new housing. Everything opens and shuts as it should. Got fuel filler, Sikaflexed in. Done a bit of work in the boot. I've repurposed an old boot board there and made some sort of foam bits just to tidy it up. There's the wiring for the number plate light. So that's looking good. Got a jerry can to sit there. I'm going to make another piece of foam to hold the battery thing in there. So that's looking good. Bonnet is not mounted yet, and the reason being I still have to cut a giant hole in it, which is it's a bit scary. But it needs to have the bonnet vent fitted. And the bonnet vent, that's the outer of the bonnet vent. It's going to go somewhere there, probably a bit further back actually. And that vents hot air from the intercooler. Now you'll notice there's no center bits in that. I couldn't get the thing to print in one go. That's how it's supposed to look, but the print kept failing, so I ended up separating it out. I managed to get it to print. I assume that's just my printer not being great, so we'll see. So there's the fins. So basically that has to all go in one piece. Cut a dirty great big hole. I think that's my main job for today. Well, after a lot of struggling and grinding and whatnot, it's now one piece. I've just got to plastic weld it together, but hopefully that'll do. And then it's time to bog it and sand it and make it look pretty. So reassembly continues furiously. I want to put in the rear carpet. In order to do that, or before I do that I should say, because doing things in order is important at this stage so I don't have to redo anything. I've plumbed in my speakers. They're wired. They had a wire coming in through here. They're going to go to this unit, which is an amplifier and a Bluetooth unit, which will be mounted in the center console, which doesn't exist yet. So the speaker wires are going to run through here and along to there. Before I put the carpet in and lose access to all of this, I've reminded myself that I need to run power to this unit. So past me ran these wires from the front, and I allowed some spare ones for extra stuff. I'm going to tap into these two and then extend them and run them through that hole along with these speaker wires to go to the Bluetooth unit. Those red wires and the red wire and the black wire run through this conduit, through here, into the sill, forward, up here, and behind the carpet, and they're peeking out just here. So I've just tapped into those and soldered some extra wires on them, which are about to run across the dash, go into this plug, which I saved from the half cut, that plugs into the original Toyota stereo circuit. So that's nice. I'll have a fused link that works on the ignition, so my Bluetooth unit comes on. It's just annoying when you've got to go backwards to move forwards. suitably long length of wire. What happens? Turn the ignition on. We have power. Nice. Just getting ready to put the carpet in for hopefully the last time. And I remember there's no way to mount the center console, which this is my original design for the center console, which I may end up using because I'm having trouble printing the new design. Anyway, as you can see, this required 2 prints and I ran out of filament, black filament halfway through and switched to yellow, and then that subsequently ran out, so it was, you know, just a great time printing that. But I need a bracket and I'm going to tie into the seatbelt mounts on the back here. So I've just made up this little paper template to sort of sit like that. Tie into that bolt and give me, I'll just put a couple of nut sets in the back here. That'll tie the back down. That's awesome. I started trying to figure out how to cut it with tin snips and remember to have a bandsaw. Still reassembling the car. It's time to do those mirror extension bits that I invented a long time ago. Just made new gaskets out of just a piece of vinyl, which I think will work fine. They were a lot harder to put on than I'd hoped, but they don't look terrible. Okay, morning of the 29th, 4 days to go. Some tasks are coming along nicely, others less so. Main thing today, I want to paint this yellow. I've got this in high fill yesterday. It needs to be sanded smooth and painted yellow. Also need to put a giant hole there. Eventually I've marked out where I think I want to cut this hole. It's a bit nerve-wracking to cut into a perfectly good bonnet, but it has to be done. Interior is looking good. our amazing rear seat squabbers in, and the base is going to go in later. The main thing we have to do in here is fit a headlining, which in a Morris 1100 just glues straight to the roof, so that's going to be some fun for later on today. After that, door trims, seats back in, interior is pretty much done. So yeah, we're getting there. The list is getting shorter. For the headlining, I bought some perforated vinyl looking material off AliExpress, and my partner and I had glued that to the car builder's foam with its own self-adhesive, and we had it all sitting on the kitchen floor. We actually ironed it on to get rid of any bubbles and stuff. We had it looking great, and here we are gluing it to the inside of the roof with spray adhesive, hence all the masking, and trying not to gas ourselves. We actually got it looking really great. Unfortunately, the adhesive on the car builders, even though it sticks really well to everything, didn't stick to the material that I bought, and the roof lining self-ejected halfway through the weekend at Summernats. But at this point in time, it's looking amazing, and I've got all the seats in, and everything was looking great at this point. We were very proud of our efforts. Unfortunately, they just weren't very long lasting. I'm going to have to do something about the headlining down the track, but for now it's just black foam with sticky adhesive. I'm very gingerly closing the doors here because it's about 1 AM and I'm trying not to be a nuisance to the neighbours any more than I already have been. So after fitting the headlights the day before and discovering that one of them was a bit dim, I went to the Autobarn and ended up getting suckered into buying brand new LED headlights. I figured that would solve the issue. So here I am fitting the LED headlights in place of the old sealed beams so that, you know, we have some actual lighting. And then I discovered that one of them is still dim and it's actually a wiring issue. So then I have to go in and solve the wiring issue, but eventually get both headlights working and we can see where we're going. It's looking pretty good. We're nearly ready. Need to fix this though. So with the grille back in, that was it. The car was finished. I also did an oil change and checked off all the fluids and stuff, but basically it was then ready to go. The eagle-eyed among you might notice that I have been a bit cheeky with these last few things, and obviously this after image is not only after it was finished, but after Summernats with its entrance stickers all over it. So spoiler alert, we did make it to Canberra. The car mostly behaved itself, but that is a story for next time. So thanks everyone for watching and following along with the story. I now have a shiny car and I plan to go and enjoy it. I've already got a track day lined up this year and I'm going to try and do as many events as I can. Plus there will be some other mods done. I'm looking at maybe fitting a new turbo manifold, so there's more fun coming. Like and subscribe, all that jazz. Thanks everyone.